Okay, so the for this project, I did an immigrant family from El Salvador, last name Morales. So my intro, I interviewed an immigrant family from El Salvador. So mother is Lucy. Her age is 45. She has four children. She has three daughters, 25, which is the oldest. She has a daughter and a family of her own now, 17 and 14. And then she has two sons, ages 24 and 3. Father is also 45. The two older children now have a family of their own, so they kind of live on their own, and the three younger children still live at home. So this is a picture of me and the family, and you can kind of see the oldest with their own family. So language, they primarily speak Spanish. So Spanish is the primary language for this family. Lucy and her husband only speak Spanish, and her children obviously have been raised here in the United States, so they are bilingual and they speak both English and Spanish. So this family identifies as Hispanic, Salvadorian culture. They have been here in the United States since 1999, so 26 years now. So some family beliefs that they kind of have is like they really honor their elders and their family. So they like to keep their family close. They have a really close family. They see each other very often. And that's whether through like weekly gatherings or sharing meals. They like making traditional homemade dishes such as pupusas that are in this picture, tamales, sweet bread. They like to attend church together for special events. They celebrate birthdays with like big parties, and that's what kind of keeps their culture strong. These celebrations bring them together and kind of remind them where they came from. So that was a big thing that they kind of mentioned, that their family is really close and they really respect their elders and kind of are really big on family. So their core value is family. That's one of like the things they kind of mentioned a lot. They are really close and they just think that family is really important. The tradition of healing in El Salvador. So, most of their culture healing often includes home based remedies. Many families, such as theirs, believe in using natural treatments like teas, herbs, and traditional healers, different massages. Healing can also involve like prayer and faith, they mentioned. So, they're kind of very close in religion and family support. While Western American medicine is more focused on like science, doctors, medications, and like hospital treatments, and that's kind of what they like said they believed Western medicine is. I think they mentioned they are undocumented, so they don't have health insurance. So that is some of the barriers to health. They don't have health insurance, so they kind of mentioned that self pay is extremely expensive. They usually only go to the doctor if it's like absolutely needed. I think she mentioned that she recently went to the doctor because her eye was really red and she was kind of getting worried. So she went in. So they kind of mentioned they don't go to the doctor. They don't really go to the dentist to get preventative visits or anything like that. It's mostly like when there's pain involved. Because again, there are so many barriers. They don't have health insurance. Cost is the big thing. Transportation, language barriers. I think she really focused on the language barriers since she only speaks Spanish. So sometimes it's hard to get a translator, and then it's just hard to even understand what the doctor is saying. And then just fear of not feeling understood by the providers. So off of that, she kind of mentioned that her advice to healthcare professionals is kind of listening carefully, showing respect for cultural beliefs, and communication. I think communication was a big one that she was more concerned about. Sometimes they don't have translators, or it's like the computer when they're trying to do like the translation doesn't work, or just the words don't get across clearly. So that was like a huge thing, like having patience, because sometimes some doctors don't have patience and they kind of just like, oh well, if they don't understand, like they can bring like somebody else to translate and stuff like that. So just communication was like something that they really focused on. And kind of involving family and their beliefs. More like building trust and improving care is that's the way they're gonna do it. Just having patience and communication, being able to communicate and get everything to them in a way they're gonna understand it. Not just kind of give them something written and something they don't understand. My reflection conclusion on this is I am also Hispanic, but Mexican. I'm not from El Salvador, but there was a lot of similarities. You know, my parents also don't have health insurance. They don't really see the doctor very often or go to the doctor or the dentist or anything like that unless there's pain involved. So I can kind of see how many different families from different countries kind of see it. You know, I think language is a huge barrier sometimes, even though now I feel like there's a lot of people in healthcare that speak Spanish, like myself. So I think that's a step forward that we're taking, but also getting doctors to understand some of these different beliefs that many families have about just some cultural things, and just kind of understanding and respecting their beliefs, but also just kind of doing their part by being patient, kind of giving them all the information clearly. I think that will definitely help us moving forward. I know health insurance is something that's always going to be a big issue, especially with people that are undocumented. So that's a thing that really doesn't have a solution right now, but there's a lot of things out there, like how she mentioned she goes to a community health center clinic, and they do like a payment plan, so that those things are very helpful. I mean, there's things like Comum where they have free dental care. So things like that people can kind of look into. But again, it's kind of hard when they don't know about it. So just keeping these families aware and understanding, respecting them, and communication, you know, making sure they really understand when they get to a doctor so they know the importance of preventative care. And that is my interview.